What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah! We talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. But talk about New Orleans, though, man, because obviously we know you signed there later in the year. And then we know most recently you obviously got the new contract, man, to stay there even longer. So shout out to you for that as well, man. But take us through that process, man. You're getting down to New Orleans. What's that like for you, man?
Yeah, so again, I'm in kind of a similar scenario to I was in 2022 when the Cowboys let me go after camp. I got cut after camp in Buffalo, kind of got blindsided a little bit, if I'm being honest, right? Like I thought I was there for 2 weeks. I got thrown in the fire, learned a playbook in a day and a half, and then played 2 preseasons. So I thought at least I was going to be on practice squad.
I did too. I ain't gonna hold you. I did too.
Yeah, so it is what it is, right? There's, I mean, it's whatever, but
it's part of it. Yeah.
Again, got back home, went on probably 4 or 5 workouts. I'm like, man, this is getting annoying, right? I can't possibly throw the ball any better at these things. What do these teams need to see? Yeah. Everyone's telling me the same thing. Hey, if someone gets hurt, you're our guy. You're our guy. You're our guy. Someone gets hurt, they don't call. Someone gets hurt, they don't call.
Yeah.
What's really going on here? So, Derek Carr gets hurt week 13 or 14. I think he broke something in his left pinky finger. But I remember this. Me and my fiance were on the couch watching the game, and I said, "I'm going to get a call tonight. I'm going to go start packing my bags. I love you, but I'm guaranteeing I'm going to be out of here tomorrow."
Wow.
My agent calls me a few hours later. Hey, New Orleans is flying you out tomorrow night. Pack a bag. You're probably going to be there for the rest of the season.
Wow.
And it's a little different, right? Because I'm not used to walking into a locker room week 14, right? And so I've been a part of the other side where guys have come into the locker room, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, all right,
you're like, who's this new guy? Yeah.
Kind of know your place. You're coming into a locker room where guys have a lot of stuff invested, but got in. It's funny. You were just talking about vets, right? All of a sudden, Derek Carr's hurt. The 2 guys that are there are Spencer Rattler, who's a rookie, and Jake Henry, second year. So guys that are young. I walk into the room and they're calling me a vet. I'm like, man, weird, dude. Like,
come on, OG, you the guy, man.
Yeah, he's like, man. And all of a sudden, these guys are asking me the questions that a few years ago I'm asking everybody else, right? And I'm like, man, it's crazy just to see how it shifts when you've been in the league long enough and you've been around long enough. Like guys start to just think of you a different way. And I'm like, man, this is cool, right? Like, and I knew I wasn't going to play, right? You don't just come into somewhere week 14 and then they just throw you in. That's not how it works. They drafted both of these guys. So I knew my role right off the bat. Hey, I just got to help these guys get ready to roll for the last month of the year, however possible. And if that's my way of keeping my foot in the door, then so be it, right? Like, there have been a bunch of guys who have made a career doing that. So got down to New Orleans. It was nice to be around some humidity again, some warm weather coming from Denver. It was nice to have my skin not be completely white. So it was cool to be back around it, right? Again, I was in a similar situation. I was thinking, hey, this might be it. No one's calling. This is the second time this has happened. Do I want to keep waiting this out? Do I want to try to go to the CFL? Do I want to do the XFL again? No. So I got really fortunate. The Saints signed me. I signed back to a futures contract for next year. So it was fun to be back around it. It was fun to have that fire kind of lit under your ass again, going into the offseason, giving you something to work towards instead of just waking up every morning, working out for no reason, just hoping that your phone's going to ring. And that's not a good place to be either. Mentally, it's tough trying to serve 2 masters, right? Do I want to mentally take myself to what comes next? Do I want to stay locked in? Do I want to, right? So it was good for me knowing that, hey, I've got a job going into 2025 and kind of how I'm taking this thing, right, is I'm going to give this thing one more shot. If it doesn't work out,
Okay.
it doesn't work out, right? Like I've exhausted. I've already played much longer than I would have thought anyway. If you would have told me when I was in high school I'd play 5 years in the NFL,
Let's go.
like you're crazy. So it's been a heck of a journey. I wouldn't change it for the world. People ask me all the time, like I every step I've done along the way, from transferring, blah, blah, this, that, I wouldn't change a thing. It all happened for a reason. I'm a big believer in just control what you can control. Stuff happens for a reason. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? I mean, it's kind of cliche.
Where did that mindset come from, though? Because obviously, when you talk about your story and the way that we've kind of laid it out, I mean, from the time you were finishing high school, it sounds like adversity has constantly been a part of it, or different bumps in the road where a lot of people would be like, man, I would have been quit. I would have been checked out. I would have been through in the towel. What is it about you, though, that keeps you motivated, that keeps you saying, man, I'm going to give it another go? I don't care if this opportunity didn't work. I'm going to give this opportunity a go right here. What is that for you, man?
I mean, honestly, I think having the senior year that I had in high school, right? Like I threw for 4,500 yards, had 50 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And the only Power 5 school is going to come a week before signing day. So I kind of felt slighted a little bit. Like
I could definitely see that. Absolutely.
Tape on. What else do you need to see? Right? Like, I mean, I was Gatorade Player of the Year over Saquon. And there were a bunch of other guys who were the same class that year. So I think then kind of made me feel like, hey, like I got a chip on my shoulder. It doesn't matter what you do, right? Like there's always going to be someone who doesn't believe in you. There's always going to be somebody trying to tell you you're not good enough. You're not this, you're not that. I kind of always knew, hey, I love this thing. I love football. It's been what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I'm going to give this thing hell until I can't give it hell anymore. And I'm just going to we'll let the chips fall as they may, right? So I've always felt that I've been playing with house money, and so never really felt like I've had anything to lose, a ton to gain. So my thing is, let's put one foot in front of the other, control what we control, and see what happens with this thing. And it's 2025, and here we are 5 years later, still chugging along. So it's been fun.